I wanted to talk today about making a pivot to becoming a book coach from another industry or career because everybody does that. Nobody starts out being a book coach. Book coaching is too new an industry for that. It's too new a thing for that. It's also an apprentice industry. You learn by doing it, which is how Author Accelerator's book coach certification program is set up. We lead you through practicum so that you actually get to coach and learn about coaching by coaching. So nobody comes to this work having done it before. They come from other places and from other careers. And what's been so fun for me to see at Author Accelerator is all the different places people come from and all the different things that they bring to this work. We have such a wide variety of people that come to book coaching and that are doing a great job at book coaching. And they all bring these amazing skills and attributes and experiences from other places. So if you're thinking about pivoting into becoming a book coach, I think it's helpful to think about what you've done that you could bring to this work. So that's everything from project management experience, people who are really good at seeing complex projects through and organizing that and motivating people to finish on time are really good at book coaching because that's something that writers need. Writing is a complex intellectual and creative undertaking that somebody who hasn't done before doesn't know how it works and doesn't know how it unfolds and doesn't know what to do. And a book coach can provide that project management framework for them. Something else people often bring from other industries is a keen sense of communication. So maybe they come from a communication field. Maybe they're a copy editor. Maybe they're an HR professional. Maybe they've been writing newsletter or social media copy or other kinds of copy for a company, and they can bring that expertise into their work as a book coach. One of our book coaches used to do search engine optimization and blog post writing and content writing for a construction firm. And she was trained in school to analyze texts and books, and she was a reader and a writer and all that in school. And then she parlayed that skill into this work for a construction company, and she's been trained and is working as a book coach, and she's a great book coach because she brings that sense of marketplace awareness for how writing works in the world and what people need in order to communicate. So that communication skill is a really important thing that you might bring to the work. You might bring just straight up people skills. Being good with people is a really important part of book coaching. We work one-on-one with people. We're in relationship with people. We're helping them do their best and to bring out the best in those people. And it becomes a very intimate relationship. We're in it with them. We're in the creative process with them. And when they throw up their hands and say, I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know if this is any good, or I don't know if I like this anymore, I don't know if I like this direction, and whatever their emotion they're bringing to it, if you're good with people, you're going to be good with helping them through that phase of the project. So just people skills are hugely important to the work of book coaching. There are analysis skills that are important to the work of book coaching that people bring from in other industries. And whether that's analyzing something in a science related field or a math related field or analyzing text, it doesn't really matter. The skill of analysis is very helpful to a book coach. We're analyzing texts all the time, of course, but we're also analyzing things in our business, how our messaging is working, how our conversion is working from the sales activities that we're doing, how our pricing is working. All those different elements of running a business are things that you can bring your analysis skills to. We have people, this just tickled me so much, but we have people who are very highly trained in mathematics and science related fields, including things like geology and radiology and different things like that. And they bring those analysis skills into the work of book coaching. The other thing that you want to think about that you bring over is just your love of reading and your love of writing and your love of doing this work. If you've been involved in any sort of creative endeavor and you have that passion for helping creative projects come to life, whether that's theater production or it could be working on a corporate newsletter or annual reports or anything where you're creating a product or a thing and you're bringing it to life, that kind of skill and energy is something that you can bring to book coaching. There's just so many ways that you can come into this work. And I love thinking about that. And I get up on my soapbox a little bit about it because sometimes people will say, oh, we'll just train anybody to be a book coach. And it's like, no, there are the people who are drawn to book coaching are coming to it because they love writers and writing. They love books. They understand books. They want to work with books and they want to work with the people that write them. Those are very specific kinds of people. And it doesn't have to be writers. We have a lot of writers in our book coaching community for obvious reasons. Writers want to be involved in this world. They love this world. They want to stay in this world. But we have a lot of not writers as well, or not in that traditional sense. They're not book writers. They're not doing this work for their own selves for pay. But those people that are attracted to book coaching and that bring that love of writing and writers, we can train them to do this work. And when I say I get up on my soapbox about it, it's because some people try to equate the skill of writing well with the skill of being a good book coach. And they're two very, very different things. Producing work, doing that creative work, sitting down and coming up with that in your own mind and your own life is a different thing than coaching someone to do that. And coaching requires a different set of skills. You can be a very good book coach and not be a writer at all. And you can also be a good writer and be a good book coach. You can be, people come from both pools. But the idea that you have to be a good writer in order to be a good book coach is preposterous. It's a totally different skill. And I am reminded of this all the time when I watch sports on TV. I'm a real fair weather fan. I love to watch the end of every sporting, event, the big end, like the World Cup, the World Series. Like I'm a huge fan at those times, and I am not a fan at all during the early parts of the season. So I love watching sports, but I like watching the end of things. And one of the things I'm always thinking about is who are the coaches? Where do they come from? Did they win championship games their own selves, or did they learn the craft of coaching somewhere else? And of course, you get people who won championships who go on to be coaches, but you also have other folks who didn't, who learned how to coach, who learned how to strategize and think and train those players and help make plans for a championship game and help produce the system that's going to create a team that can win. All of those skills that we see people on the sidelines have are different from the skill of actually playing. And it's the same thing in our field. So if you are thinking about pivoting into book coaching from some other industry, from some other place, from some other thing that you've been doing, that's great. You can absolutely do that. And I would encourage you to think about what you could bring to the table and what you can do to run a great business. Being a solopreneur, which is what we call a person who's running a solo person entrepreneurial venture, is really fun. It is constantly challenging. It will help tap into so many talents and skills that you probably already have. And it's just a thrill to help writers bring their work to life. So if that's something that it sounds like you would like to do, if you're listening to me and you think, well, that sounds like the dream, check out our new video series that we walk you through some of these key things that you need and characteristics of a book coach, and it'll help you see if making the pivot to publishing is the right step for you. We hope it is. We'd love to see you as part of our community and our